And I remember that day very well. We came into a meeting. I remember escalating it at that time to the manager, and I would have explained the situation. But by then, I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed. And unfortunately, out of that, when I was explaining myself and just letting it out, the office heard. I mean, I I did a number. I did a number. Anywho, I can't, the solution in terms of recovery, we didn't unfortunately get that. We don't know how it happened, so we pretty much lost that. But what I did not realize out of that situation was that I didn't only lose stock, I lost respect in some cases, because of the way that I would have handled the situation. It obviously caused persons to wonder, okay, who is this individual? Like, what's going on here? Now, I'm not a person who, I will not consider myself someone who has anger management issues or whatever the case is. But again, out of that situation, I know that I handled it incorrectly. It was just a terrible way of being able to deal with that particular situation. So a few years have gone by. We're still talking very pleasant with each other, etc. But I never addressed the issue. And I remember there was a season where I was having these challenges, or I should, these challenges with other outlets now. Not this particular company, other companies, unrelated, but just different challenges, employer management challenges. And in one particular case, there was a young lady who began to started to talk of things that were not true of me, and just started to spread a lot of lies, etc. And again, out of that, I saw that there was still persons there who were again questioning my character, and in some ways maybe I would have lost some respect with other employees, etc. But this one was not true. I knew that it was not true. In fact, there were times where I went out of my way to help this individual. And so it was very painful when I realized that the individual that was spreading this propaganda was actually her. But out of it, though, what I realized was that in one case, I would have lost respect, yes, amongst some persons, my colleagues, employees, because of what she was saying, which was not true. But then there was an issue that I did not resolve several years ago, where I would have also lost respect. But this one, it was because of me. So here I am, feeling very hurt, feeling very, very, scarred, wondering what's going on here, why you did this, etc. You're tarnishing my reputation. But then I started to realize that if I'm going to correct a reputational issue, I need to really and truly, if I'm going to be transparent and want to address everything holistically, I need to kind of address everything. There are times where we are so concerned about how people view us, how they see us, and we're trying to correct that. We're trying to massage that. We're trying to handle that and deal with that, etc., but not dealing with those things that kind of lead up to that, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I started to then I was really challenged then to begin to look at things differently. And I remember coming out of that situation, there were some things that I wanted to remedy. And that was actually one of them. And I remember very clearly at that point in time feeling you need to go and resolve this issue. And it was challenge. It was so difficult because I'm bringing up something that, you say things that just, it's going to pass and be like, he still talk to you. And so we can be tempted to ignore those things. But I was like, no, I need to lay bare and lay clearly what are those challenges and just clean them away. And so he was about to leave the office, and I remember just thinking, okay, no, you got to do this before he leaves. So I got out of my chair and I went to the door, and then I shut it back and I said, okay, I can't do this. And I remember just pacing in my office a couple of times. Okay, how are you? And I'm trying to figure out how do I approach this situation. I mean, I'm bringing up something that, anyway, I remember just saying, you know what? No, you need to deal with this. If you are going to address this, you need to deal with it. And I remember calling him in the office and I said, I just have something that I wanted to talk to you about. And it would have happened a number of years ago, as far as back as whenever, but it's something that I feel like I need to say. And I remember just kind of speaking to him about it, etc. And he was like, no, that's cool. Then if she was there, like, we good, we cool. I was like, you sure? He was like, yeah, that's okay, all right, no problem. I said, well, anyway, I am just saying to you,
yeah.
that I wanted to address it, and I'm gonna ask you to forgive me. And he would have asked, he would have, agreed, and would have said that he forgave me for what took place at that point in time. And as simple as that particular act was, it was difficult to one get there, because oftentimes we don't want to accept that you are really at sometimes the cause of, or even if you're not the cause, you added to this particular issue. And I find that sometimes, especially as leaders and managers, that's something that we need to watch out for,